Hello everyone, so welcome to IGL sketching class number 4. So in this class we are going to learn about grid lines, how the grid lines are used and how we are going to make use of the grid lines to construct a sketch. So let me introduce you to an app called Drawing Grid Maker. So this one I hope you can see. Okay, so I'll show you the app. See, this one is the app which I've already downloaded from Play Store. I'll definitely send the link to you guys. So there is also other apps which you can choose if you want to, but this is an app which creates a grid line for you, and you just have to draw the same grid lines on your paper, and you can. So I'm gonna show you how it is made. So you see the top left corner, right? So that is where you open the file. So I open my gallery and I go over to my downloads. So that's where you can choose any of the image if you want to. So I just go to my downloads and I find the easiest picture. So this is an apple. See, it has already made the grid. So here are some features which this app provides. For example, if you go here, it gives you an opportunity to change the number of rows. For example, it is 5. If I choose to make it 7, so you can see there are 7 rows. I think the ideal thing to do is keep the rows and columns the same, but it's up to you guys how you want to make use of it. So if I want to make 7 rows and 7 columns, I'll go edit this and see 7 rows and 7 columns. So I've already made the grid lines. And if I go for this BW, this is black and white, so which helps you to make easy sketch of using a pencil drawing, unless until you are using the color pencils. If you are using normal pencils for pencil drawing, go for this option, so it turns into black and white, so you get a better idea about the shades and all those things. See, okay, so if you go for this option called LA, and this SQ is that if you press this, it goes into square shape. So if the shape is not square and you feel that see, I have chosen 7 into 7 matrix, so basically it is 7 rows and 7 columns, so obviously it is square. But if you have not gone for this option, or if you have chosen different number of rows and different number of columns, this might come handy. If I press this one, it changes into square. Right now it's all squares, but that is why it's not showing any changes. And this DI is that to add more lines to it, more grid lines to it. This is an option to add the diagonal lines, so you get more of a grid. And I wouldn't prefer this one because this looks so much of congested, and I wouldn't go, because the grid lines are basic guidelines for you to construct the diagram. You can seek the help of it, but not use too much of it. That is what I would suggest. And if you go this take this LA, if you can see, so go to LA. So now this one has the layers marked. See, you can name your layer D1, C1, B1, so that you won't get confused where which part you are drawing and which part should come in which box. So that's how it is done. And you see here, if you go here, you can decrease the line thickness over here. For example, it is 4. You can get, I'm giving it 1. So right now, see, the grid line has become so thin. And you can also change the color of the grid line over here. See, and this is where you adjust the opacity. So if I give a mid-range of opacity, see, it will be mildly visible. So what you need to do is This is basically 7 rows and 7 columns. So you create the same equidistant 7 rows and 7 columns in your sketchbook, and then you start drawing. So before you start drawing, if you want to make use of layer numbers, so you can rename it just like this, B1, B2, so you can find out so where you want to draw. Okay, and you can start drawing it. However, I don't use this layering, so this one is good enough for me. So basically I get an idea how, like, okay, if I construct 7 rows and 7 columns, and see the last column here and last column here is empty, your part of your sketch is not coming over there, and in this part, in the bottom part, some part of sketch is coming in, and in the top part some part of sketching is coming. Basically I can count the columns and I can count the boxes. So 1, 2, 3, the third box, this one is coming. So that is how I do it. However, there is an option of layering and labeling the columns. If you want to go for it, I would rather suggest that you go for it in the initial stages, and as soon as you progress, you can skip that part. And if you give this save button, it's going to save it to your gallery. There will be a folder called drawing grid app, drawing grid maker. In that folder you can find the same image, and from there you can zoom it and you can get the detailing. See the shades, the detailing, all those things you can get. So normally this grid line techniques is very much useful if you go for portraits, but however this is recommended for all the sketches, because this is the easiest way of constructing a sketch, and you can easily draw your sketch without much of the errors. Basically, if you get the outline proper of all these things, see, if you put each and every outline into that particular box, you are going to get the perfect shape of sketch. So no need to worry about that. This is a well-known technique and well-used technique also. So many portrait artists use this. So please do make use of it and start applying in your sketches. So that is class number 4. Choose a sketch of your choice, whichever image you want to create. At least start with a basic one like this, an apple or a fruit or whatever, any other fruit or an animal, which is easy for you. Just start with this grid lines, and then you can opt for a little bit complicated image also. So that is class number 4, grid lines. And there is one more thing. If you are using a PC or a laptop, if you want to do the same thing on a laptop or a PC, there is one thing called ArtGrid tutor. I think ArtGrid tutor. I'll definitely send the link of that this thing site. That is a website which does the similar thing, but it doesn't have the option for all the things which I've shown here, but it definitely have the basic option to do the do the grid lines. And definitely, yeah, that is also one option if you want to go and do it in a PC. So that's it, guys. Thank you.